You live so much of your life online. Between your friends, your career, and your funny videos, you might not be thinking about your security, but we are. We're Avast, the global leader in consumer cybersecurity. We offer cutting-edge security and privacy products to keep you safe from malware, ransomware, trojans, spam, phishing, and other threats on your mobile phone, your Mac, or your PC. Our VPN software makes sure your connection is always safe, encrypted, and secure, no matter where you are. And we keep you safe from the latest browser-based threats with Avast Secure Browser. We even secure your home network and all the different connected things that are on it. You benefit from the power of the Avast cybersecurity network, made up of hundreds of millions of yous, because there's safety in numbers. Avast sees emerging threats and stops them on day zero, before others even know they exist. So you're free to live your digital life and leave the security to us. Take charge of your security and privacy today with solutions from Avast.
In my promo, I promised to simplify, clarify, and demystify your computer while staying safe and secure on all your devices. And I always try to keep my promises. Two things I want to point out on this. Make sure that you're always using quality application software, and every system has to have a reliable backup system. When the main system goes on the fritz, it's the backup that will save your booty. Something to think about the next time you visit your shrink. It also points out the importance of paying attention to details. As I said, details are very important. If you don't follow them, you may not want to visit that shrink the next time you're due to have an office visit. Install solid security software on every computer and device. Use strong and unique passwords. Only download programs and apps from trusted sources. Employ a virtual private network, VPN. Think twice before opening attachments, following links, or sharing sensitive information. The 8 essentials of secure computing. Avast offers an excellent browser designed specifically for when you do your banking and shopping, because it totally isolates you from everything else on your system, making sure you're secure and the information for signing in and all the other important things that happen when you purchase or when you visit your bank are actually secure. Use an ad blocker so you don't constantly see those pop-ups coming up and maybe make a mistake and click on one of those things and wind up someplace you shouldn't have gone. Use an anti-malware program. If you're using Avast, it's not only an antivirus program anymore. Avast blocks more malware than most programs dedicated to doing just malware scans. Use a password manager. You're supposed to use a different password for everything that requires a password. Most of us tend to use one password for lots of places. Use a virtual private network, especially important when you're on unsecured Wi-Fi or an unsecured connection. Make sure that you, on a regular basis, back up your system. Use data encryption. And the easiest way is to use a VPN, because it encrypts everything before it leaves your device. A healthy paranoia simply means that sometimes it's a good thing to be suspicious. And nowadays, we need to be suspicious. The VPN that I use comes from Avast, an excellent product. It hides your location, and it encrypts everything before it leaves your device and doesn't get unencrypted until just before it gets to its destination. So if you're on open Wi-Fi, and open Wi-Fi simply means any place where you don't control that the security of that connection. It could be Starbucks, McDonald's, the library that you visit, probably in here, because you don't control the security in here, somebody else does. A hotel you may be staying at, all those places provide free internet access, but it's not secure. And the VPN makes you secure even on open connections. The product from Avast is not free, and if you'd rather use something that is free, there are quite a few free ones available. There are always some restrictions to free products. In here, you may have a limit as to how much you have actually encrypted, how many connections you can make that are encrypted, and some of them serve up ads. That's how they make their money. One item that's not on here is the Opera browser, which has a built-in VPN. To start it, all you have to do is just go into your settings and start up the VPN. That is also free. Quite often we get a website that we want to visit, but we aren't so sure whether that website is actually a secure website. The sites listed on here are tools that will check that website so that before you actually visit the website, you'll get an assurance that it is a safe and secure site. The link posted on the bottom gives you access to this document with all these different tools. Companies use data gathered from cell towers, ambient Wi-Fi, and GPS. But the location data industry has a much more precise and unobtrusive tool. It's called Bluetooth beacons. Bluetooth, we use that technology for connecting everything from wireless earphones to car entertainment systems. We use it for data transfer and lots of other things. Problem is that Bluetooth is also a hacker haven. So when you don't use your Bluetooth, turn it off. Ransomware, be aware. More and more municipalities are getting hit and are paying the ransom. Paying is never a good idea, and it doesn't guarantee that you're actually going to recover what's been encrypted. CryptoLocker encrypts everything on your system, and without the key, you'll never get access to the information again. Again, the trick to this is regular backups. If you have a backup and you get hit with CryptoLocker, not a big deal. You simply restore your system to a backup that was created before the infection happened. Also have to realize that it's not only an infection that will kill your system, hardware doesn't last forever. Your hard drive could crash tomorrow. What happens if it does? If you have a backup, no big deal. If you don't have a backup, you're going to lose all your personal information, because you can always reinstall the operating system and the programs, but your personal information is going to be gone. No way to recover, because you can't tell somebody else to install it if you've never saved it. Okay, that's what your backup is very important. And if you're doing an image backup, it's an exact copy of the hard drive at the time that you make that image backup. So if something happens, you just restore that image, and it's like nothing ever happened to your computer at all. This is the backup system that I use. It's been part of Windows since Windows 7, and it still works in the very latest version of Windows 10. To get to it, go to Control Panel, and in your Control Panel, you see something called Backup and Restore Windows 7. And don't let the Windows 7 scare you. It works perfectly in Windows 10, the latest version of Windows 10. My system, every Saturday, when I get finished working for the day, I get off the internet, then I plug in my external hard drive. During the night, the image is created. Sunday morning, before I do anything else, I disconnect that external hard drive from my computer, and then I go back on the internet. Never ever have the backup device attached to your computer while you are online. Because if CryptoLocker hits and that backup is attached to your computer, guess what? It will get encrypted. CryptoLocker not only encrypts your computer, but also any external devices attached to that computer. And the last thing you want is to have your backup encrypted. Then you're right back to having nothing, okay? So never leave that device attached while you're on the internet. If you're tired of unchecking unrelated offers while installing software, it's a very easy way. Go to the web, go to a site called Night. From here, there are lots of programs to choose from, but every program that you pick from here in all the different categories have been screened to make sure none of them contain anything malicious and none of them have any add-on garbage that comes along with the program. And you don't only have to pick one, you can pick a whole bunch of programs and install all of them at the same time. You can then, at some later date, use that same installation feature to update all those programs you've downloaded. So this can be used both for initially installing a program and then at a future date, updating the program. And you won't get any garbage that comes along with the program. A program you can install on your computer is called Unchecky, and it does pretty much the same stuff. Unchecky automatically makes sure that you don't miss a box that contains garbage which gets added to your computer. It will warn you of any add-ons that are a part of the program that you probably do not want to get to your system.
Avast Quick Tips Episode 3. Never unintentionally live a double life. You check your email. That's a compelling subject line. Open it. There's a suspicious looking link in there, but it sure looks exciting. It just needs some personal details. Name, address, first pet's name. You're a winner, right? Psych, it was a phishing link and you took the bait. Some woman in Norway just stole your identity and your savings. Congratulations, you're now living a double life as a Norwegian woman named Asbjorn. Pushly! Don't take risks with your online security. Channel your inner English teacher. Hackers often use poor grammar in phishing emails. Make sure every link is HTTPS and the URL isn't weird or misspelled. Or let a powerful anti-spam do it for you. Anti-spam can flag or delete any dangerous and annoying phishing emails. So the only life you get to live is your own. Avast Quick Tip number 3. Download Avast free antivirus to stay safe from phishing scams. Get free phishing protection with Avast free antivirus at avast.com.
Phishing scams always come from companies that we recognize. That's the whole secret behind it. You think you're getting a notification about some problem from a company you deal with. Unfortunately, they spoofed that company's website. You think you're going to go and ask for help from a reputable company, and you're in essence passing along all that information that they asked for to a cyber crook. It is quite possible to get an email from the companies you deal with to tell you that there is a problem, but the legitimate company request will tell you to contact them. Onus of contact is always left up to you. If you get one of these things to tell you there's a problem, and all you have to do is click on the link within that email, it's probably 99.9% guaranteed it is a scam. And those links are not going to where you think they're going. They're not going to go to Microsoft or PayPal. They're going to a crook. And then the information that they ask for, again, is being redirected to the crook. So if it contains a link or it contains a phone number, put it in the trash, because that's where it belongs. If it's legit, they will ask you to contact them. These are people you do business with. You know the information, and you on your own should be contact them. If you aren't sure, the best way to verify something, don't follow anything within an email. Again, contact the company on your own and ask them whether or not they've sent you the email. I can pretty much guarantee you the answer is no, it didn't come from us. Quite often we need some tech support, but there are lots of scams going on, especially when you're looking for them online. Also realize that Microsoft doesn't call you out of the blue to let you know you've got a problem with your computer. People fall for this garbage all the time. If you're getting a call from somebody who says you've got a problem, they are the problem, okay? Plain and simple. Hang up the phone and end the scam. The longer you keep them on the phone, the more information they've been trained to get from you. So the first thing to do, as soon as you get one of those calls, simply hang up the phone. Emails. If you're getting an email for some kind of solicitation, don't click on any links. Again, it's garbage. Put it into the garbage. Never ever turn your computer over to some third party who wants to help you fix your problem. If you turn your computer over remotely to somebody, guess what? They now have complete control of your computer. If that person isn't someone you would allow to take your computer out of your house, it also isn't somebody you ought to give remote access to. If you're getting pop-ups in a website or on your desktop, don't act on them. Again, they're trying to get your personal information. If you're looking for anything on the internet, usually when you do a search, the top listing is probably from somebody who's paid to get their company to the top of the list. So always be leery of the top listing. Investigate and make sure it's legit. Right now, you've seen lots of advertisement on TV about home title theft. And there is a company that offers a service to help protect you against home title theft. They charge $15 a month. Hey, that's $180 a year. It's not worth spending that kind of money because you can do all of this all by yourself. Every once in a while, just like you check your bank statement and your credit report, check with the county, the tax assessor, and make sure the title is still in your name. If you get requests for loans and stuff, or to put a lien on your property, be very careful and check and make sure someone isn't already stolen your identity and is now putting liens on your property. It does happen. So make this part of the regular things that you do and check with the county or the state. It depends and varies from state to state how this works. By us, it's the county that we check to see whether or not our title is free and clear. If you have a lien, make sure it's with the bank that you have the mortgage with, okay? Identity theft. There are services that you can pay to check to make sure someone isn't doing something fishy with your credit. There's also a free service called idtheftcenter.org. It's a nonprofit. They don't charge for their services. The only thing they do is help people recoup who've had their identity stolen. It's also an excellent source to check up on all of the identity theft scams that are going around.
What's the name of that again, please?
idtheftcenter.org.
Has your password been stolen or hacked? There's an easy way to find out. Use Avast's Hack Check, a service from Avast to find out and be notified whenever your password is stolen because of a new breach. Even if you are careful and use a strong password, this can still happen to you. The website you use to sign in with your credentials was hacked. When that happened, your information is now in the hands of a cyber crook. Avast can even send you a notification when a new breach affecting you occurs. Simply enter your email address in the address bar, hit the Check Now button. It will show you all of your passwords at different sites that have been compromised and allow you from there to very simply change your password. And the time to change your password is before the hacker does and lock you out of your accounts.
Quite often, if they've stolen your password, they will actually go in, use your password to sign in, and then they change the password. So the next time you go to that site, you won't be able to get in there because your password no longer works. And they will have gotten access to all the information on those sites. System restore is okay and will get you out of trouble in a pinch, but Rollback RX is a much better solution. They offer two versions, a free version and a paid version. I was so impressed with the free version that I now have the paid version. Difference between the two, simple. In the free version, there's a maximum of 7 snapshots, which are restore points, that this program will create for you. Once you've reached those 7 snapshots, they don't make any new ones unless you take out and get rid of one of the old ones that had been created. In the paid version, there is no limit as to how many snapshots it will take. Of course, if your hard drive doesn't have any space on it, that's one way to limit how many snapshots it will take. Every once in a while, you should still go in. There's no sense of having a multitude of these snapshots on there. These are designed to get you out of a problem if your system will not restart, because this comes up before the system ever kicks in. A snapshot using Rollback RX only takes seconds. Restoring to one of those snapshots also only takes seconds. If you've ever used System Restore, you know that it takes a heck of a long time to create one, and it takes even longer to restore to one of those restore points. If you're in trouble, who cares about how long it takes? But this is an excellent alternative, and it works very, very quickly to create and then to actually restore from one of those snapshots. McShield, to protect you from infections on any USB drive, flash drive, memory card from a camera, or an external hard drive. This checks to make sure that there are no boot sector infections on those devices. Your antivirus program will check any programs that you open on those external devices. That's the default setting. So you use this to check for boot sectors, and then your antivirus automatically kicks in and checks anything that you open on those devices. CCleaner, originally called Crap Cleaner. I wish they'd still keep the name as Crap Cleaner, because its function is to get rid of all the garbage accumulated when you visit the internet or when you open any of the programs on your computer. My recommendation is use it for what it was originally intended, and that's to get rid of garbage on your system. It has many tools built into this product. One of them is a registry cleaner. Unless you're an expert at cleaning the registry, don't use it. One wrong move in the registry, you will have a system that will not reboot. The default settings in this registry cleaner are perfectly safe. The danger comes in when you start making all kinds of changes and you really don't know what changes you should or should not make. From the same company, by the way, CCleaner, Unlocker, and the next program, all part of what used to be Piriform, and Piriform is now an Avast company. Unlocker helps you to bypass program in use message when you try to uninstall a program. If you ever run into it when you want to get rid of something, it's a real pain in the butt. This bypasses that and alleviates the problem. Recuva helps recover something you deleted in error. If you got rid of, by accident, a picture, and you realize immediately, oops, I just deleted and I shouldn't have done that, it's very easy to get it back. Just go into the trash can and get it back. Problem is, if you've deleted something, you didn't realize you did that, it was an accident, and you don't realize it until some months later. How the heck am I going to get it back? I don't even know. All I know is it's missing. This allows you to pick by categories to restore what's been erased. So you pick the category, and then it will bring up all of the different items under that category which can be restored. Passwords need to be long and strong. I changed my password to incorrect. So whenever I forget, my computer will simply say, your password is incorrect. This might make it easy to remember your password, but it sure isn't going to keep you safe or secure. These are the 10 most used passwords worldwide. And in case they look familiar, these have been the same 10 most used passwords for I don't know how many years. None of them are safe, even though one of them says password. It also isn't safe to write down your password on a sticky note and attach it to your computer, to your refrigerator. It's not safe to attach it to your computer either. But if you attach it to a refrigerator, we now have many, many smart refrigerators, and you have no way of knowing where that password will wind up. What you should be doing is using a password manager. If you have Avast installed, you already have one. It's part of the product. To get it started, all you have to do is make up a strong password to get into that password manager. Password manager can generate strong passwords for you. It can import your passwords from your browser and other places. The Avast Password Manager is available for Mac, for Windows, for iOS devices and Android devices, and you can sync your passwords across all of those devices. When you go to a new site, the first time that you fill in that information, it automatically captures that information, and from then on can fill it in for you automatically. Just remember the password you used when you first set this up. That password is not saved anywhere, stored anywhere. So if you forget the password, guess what? You start from scratch. You start all over again. So when you first make up that strong password to get into your password manager, write it down until it's embedded in your brain, and then you can get rid of it. This shows you all of the different parts that are part of the free version of Avast. Probably a lot more than you thought. Even the free version, if you're online, receives a streaming update approximately every 6 minutes and provides 2 major protection updates per day. Those major updates consolidate all the little ones that you received every 6 minutes throughout the day. If it didn't have a way of consolidating all of those, you would probably at the end of some years have millions of them on your computer. Okay, that's why you have the consolidation. I've used the free version of Avast since 2003. It's light on system resources, has done an excellent job of protecting my systems. I can honestly say that Avast has made a vast difference on my computers, and it can do the same for your systems. It is faster, smarter, uses artificial intelligence and human genius to keep us safe.
Welcome to our online world. Our lives are online. We believe everyone has the right to privacy and security online. So we built the most advanced threat detection network. Combining human genius and the latest in artificial intelligence. Proactively detecting and blocking threats in real time. Preventing over 1.5 billion cyber attacks each month. Over 400 million users across the globe trust us. However, you connect. Wherever you connect. Protecting your business, your home, everywhere you connect. We are Avast, committed to online privacy and security. Why not download and install Avast today? Protection for all the people, all over the world.
If you have a Mac, Avast also offers free protection. It covers real-time protection, full Mac scans, custom scans, security reports, total malware detection, removable drive scans, scheduled scans, and of course, real-time security updates. For those of you that have an Android device, there's free protection from Avast available. You should realize that your smartphone probably has more personal information on it than you have on your computer. Our younger generation usually doesn't even have a computer. The biggest thing they'll carry is a tablet. But most of everything is done on their smartphone. So there's more and more personal information on your smartphone. It needs at least as much protection as you currently have on your computers.
What are you downloading?
It's just a game on an app store.
Honey, are you using Avast? It works on your phone too.
It's just a word game. I'm sure it's fine.
Well, nice work, Club. So I got access to all your data, photos and videos too. But the spyware is sick. And I get into photo detect. Insane, right? No. You should take some more selfies. The lighting here is great.
Like I was saying, use Avast for your phone too. It protects you against fake apps, phishing, malware, spyware, and ransomware. Did I mention there's even a free version? Unlike those video games you keep buying. Ugh.
If you have an iPhone or an iPad, there is no such thing as third-party antivirus for those devices. If you have any kind of virus problems or other problems, Apple sends you a patch. That's how you stay safe. Avast Mobile Security for iOS is all about ensuring your online privacy and protecting your personal information from hackers and spies. The product requires iOS 10 or higher. The top part shows you all the things that are included in the free version. And if you want some additional protection, Avast would be happy to accept your money for those added features. Nine tips everyone forgets to follow on their smartphones or tablets. Lock your device with a passcode. If you don't need a passcode to get into your phone or tablet, and you wind up losing that device or someone steals it, they will have immediate access to everything on that device. Doesn't mean that with a passcode, a trained person couldn't get into it, but you sure as all heck make it very impossible for someone who is not a hacker to get into the device if it requires a passcode to get into that device. Avoid suspicious links. If you aren't sure a link is secure, takes you to a reputable site, don't click on the link. It's not worth it. Update your software as soon as possible. Almost all updates are there for security reasons. That happens for your smartphone, for your tablets. It also applies to your operating system. Somebody discovered a flaw, and the sooner you update, you're again safe. And that, in retrospect, is one of the reasons why Windows 7, when it stops being supported, it will no longer patch the problems that arise with that operating system, okay? That's the reason why you either update to Windows 10, which is still available for free, or go out and get a new computer that has Windows 10 on it, or buy a Mac, or buy a Linux system, whatever. But Windows 7, yes, you can still use it. Yes, your antivirus program still fully protects it. But if there's a flaw in the operating system, it's not going to get patched and you'll be vulnerable. Use a security app. There are just as many security apps available. Avast offers excellent products for your smartphone, for your tablets. Use a virtual private network anytime you're on open Wi-Fi. Again, if you don't, your information could wind up in some hacker's arsenal, and you're going to wind up getting very poor, and they'll get very rich. Download apps from reputable app stores. Don't fall for somebody who says, I have an excellent add-on to your phone, but you have to get it from a special place. That only means they want to infect your phone. Back up your data to the cloud. That way, if you lose the phone or something happens to it, you can restore your information. Enable remote wiping of your phone. That way, if somebody gets a hold of it and you know you're not going to get it back, at least remotely, you can wipe out all of your information. Use a unique password for every account that you use online. An excellent program that works on Mac, Windows, Linux, and all your smart devices is called Pray. Once installed, this helps you recover a lost or stolen device, or smart device, or laptop. I'm happy I have this on all of my laptops because this helped me recover one of the laptops that I inadvertently left at the airport in Miami some years ago. I knew no one had accessed the laptop. I knew exactly where it was last used, and I was able to contact the airport, and they shipped it back to me. But it was this program that helped me recover it. Your computer. If you're the only person in the house, there's no reason to do anything to keep it safe, unless you don't want a crook to break in while you're out of the house and your computer is still running in the background. But there's a very simple way for you to lock your computer. All you need to do is hit the Windows key and the L for lock. And I'm going to do a little demo to show you just how effective and easy it is to do it. As I said, combination. Hold down the Windows key and hit the L key. My system is now locked. Doesn't matter what I do, I can't get into this system, okay? When you set this thing up, to get into your system, you require a password or a PIN number, or the newer ones come equipped with fingerprint recognition. My system, I have fingerprint recognition on this computer. My toy to myself before Christmas on Black Friday. So to get into this, if you don't know the PIN number or you don't know my sign-in information, and unless you've cut off my finger, you're not going to get into this computer. If you have one of those three things, in my case, it's just the fingerprint. Look what happened. We're back in business, right where we left off. Nothing has changed, okay? But somebody couldn't have gotten into my house and gotten a hold of my computer and done something. They could have stolen the computer, they still won't get into it. Very, very simple. Something brand new from Avast, it's called Avast Omni. This combines hardware and software, and it protects your connected world no matter what is being connected.
We've entered a new age of online security. It's no longer just our computers and phones we need to protect. A growing number of things we depend on every day are connecting to the internet. Your smart TV, your thermostat, your cameras, and everything else in your smart home was not built with security in mind, putting your sensitive personal information at risk of being stolen. And in today's fast-moving world of next-generation cyber threats, even your physical safety can be at risk. A different approach to security is needed to protect you and your family in all aspects of your online life. Introducing Avast Omni, a new type of security for your connected life. Avast Omni is easy and all-inclusive. All you need to do is connect the Avast Omni hub to your existing router, install the app, and your entire connected world is now protected, from your home and its connected devices to your family, everywhere they go. The Omni app gives you full visibility of your smart home, so you can be sure it's safe. If any unusual behavior is detected, you'll receive an alert wherever you are, so potential intruders can be immediately blocked. And Omni protects you outside the home. Avast Omni gives you powerful malware protection for all your portable devices to keep you safe from the latest threats, wherever you connect to the internet. You can't control what's on the internet, but with Avast Omni, you can control how your children use it. Set limits on screen time, block inappropriate content, and get immediate peace of mind with our locator map that sends you alerts when your child reaches their destination safely. Protect your connected world with Avast Omni. Security everywhere you connect.
Omni includes premium security and a virus protection for any platform, PC, Mac, iOS, and Android. It also includes family space. As I said, this combines both hardware and software to keep everything that's connected. Your smart devices are now one of the biggest dangers. We've all read about the nice Ring doorbell, and there have been some other ones in that same line that got compromised. Well, if you had Omni installed, it would have realized something is happening with the device that's not normal. That's how artificial intelligence learns how we train our devices. And when something happens that should not be happening, it can automatically block those devices and send you notifications something's not quite kosher. That's the way these things work. Smart devices are only smart because they have access to the internet. And since they have access to the internet, it also means they can present a danger to you, giving away your information, allowing other people into your home unexpectedly, because if you have a camera that gets compromised, well, they get to see everything that's going on in the house. Now that I've hopefully filled your head with all kinds of new things to think about, it's time to take a break and time to have a change of pace. You aren't alone. They're also looking for a mate. Senior citizens are the nation's leading carriers of AIDS. That's correct, AIDS. Hearing aids, band-aids, walking aids, medical aids, government aids, and most of all, monetary aids for our kids, grandkids, and great-grandkids. Not forgetting, we also have a problem with HIV. Hair is vanishing. Some places it no longer exists at all. 9 facts. Death is the #1 killer in the world. Life is sexually transmitted. Good health is merely the slowest possible rate at which one will die. Life is like a jar of jalapeno peppers. What you do today might burn your backside tomorrow. Give a person a fish and you feed them for a day. Teach a person to use the internet and they won't bother you for weeks, months, maybe years. Health nuts are going to feel pretty stupid someday, lying in a hospital, dying of nothing. All of us could take a lesson from the weather. It pays no attention to criticism. In the 60s, people took acid to make the world weird. Now the world itself is weird and people take Prozac to make it normal. Don't worry about old age. It doesn't last long. I started doing these presentations back in 2010. Never expected in 2020 I would still be doing them. Avast pays all of my expenses from the second I leave home until I get back, but I do not work for Avast. So I have no qualms in telling Avast what I like and what I don't like. What I still like is the fact that it's done a better job of protecting my computers than any other product I've ever used. There are some things I don't like. The pop-ups, their way of trying to sell the paid product. If I want to pay for it, I will. If I don't want to pay for it, stop bugging me. And they've heard that from me more than once. But even with the pop-ups, I've learned by now that those pop-ups to me are the same as if I had bought property right next to the railroad track. When I first started getting the pop-ups, it's like the train going by, and it annoyed the hell out of me. Well, I've now lived there for a couple of years. I no longer hear the train and I no longer see the pop-ups. These presentations are designed for home users, PC user groups, schools, and any group of computer users. If you know of any such groups who would benefit from a presentation, have them contact me and I'd be happy to arrange a program for them. There's never a charge to the club or its members for my services. That's where Avast comes in. They're the ones that pay the bill. If you'd like me to be back next year, please let Lena at Avast know what you thought of the presentation. Even if you didn't like it, let her know that. Okay, but that's how these presentations continue. As long as they know they're getting the bang for the buck that they spend. And my trip to Florida this year, because I'm away until the 29th of this month, they're shelling out about $15,000. Hotels have not gotten cheaper, food hasn't gotten cheaper, airplanes and car rentals also haven't gone down in price. So, and I guarantee you, I'm on Social Security without Avast footing the bill. No way, we'd be doing all of this remotely. That's the one time Avast is really happy in October when I do my presentations remotely for Cybersecurity Awareness Month. There is no expenses for food, for a car rental, for airplanes, or for hotels, because I'm sitting in my kitchen doing the presentation. So, but I'd like it to stay with in person rather than remote. The link at the bottom gives you access to most of what we talked about. If it looks familiar, that hasn't changed in a couple of years either. I just keep adding and changing that document so that it's always up to date, always contains the latest information, and when we get new things, they get added to that list. The follow-up email that I send to Barry will contain this, many other things, also a link to a pre-recorded presentation that I put together on the 1st of January. So if you missed something today and want to follow it at your own leisure, you can always do that. Barry will also have his presentation, and that link will also soon be available. Does anybody have any questions for me?
Good. Bob, thanks for a great presentation. Let's give him a wonderful hand.
Thank you, Barry.